Hello, and welcome back to City Skylines, Pittsburgh. In this episode, I'll be completing and detailing the Union Station Passenger Rail Terminal, which currently services two Amtrak passenger rail lines, the eastbound Pennsylvanian to New York City, and the westbound Capital Limited line to Chicago. Pittsburgh's Union Station, also referred to as Penn Station, is a historical landmark site and the only remaining passenger train station operating in the metro area today. The history of the station is one fraught with blood, fire, and neglect. The station was originally built sometime in the late 19th century by the Pittsburgh Railroad Company. It stood for less than a dozen years before it was burned to the ground in a violent conflict between the workers of Pittsburgh and the powerful Pittsburgh Railroad Company. The workers of Pittsburgh blockaded the freight cars and prevented them from leaving the station to protest wage cuts during the nationwide depression. The militia of Philadelphia was recruited to help disperse the protesters as gunfire and flames erupted from the station. After all was said and done, over 1,200 rail cars, 100 locomotives, and 30 buildings, including the main station, were destroyed in the conflict. In an attempt to rebuild the station from the rubble, the Pittsburgh Railroad Company hired famed architect Daniel Burnham, who was well regarded for their contribution to the 1893 World's Fair in Chicago. In 1903, the station was opened. Throughout the early 20th century, the station saw multiple expansions and renovations as rail travel was experiencing its golden age. In the latter half of the century, however, the station began to fall once again from its former glory. In 1986, a plan emerged to convert the station into apartments, and in 1988, the doors opened to the new Pennsylvanian apartment buildings, leaving the complex as a shell of its former self. Today, the station stands in a state of disrepair, with only minor cosmetic fixes planned. In part 2 of my project, I plan to envision a version of the station where it's returned to its former glory, while also based in reality. With federal funding and the support of Amtrak, it may be possible to see the station modernized, expanded, and the Pennsylvania line to be electrified. If you have any suggestions for the station revitalization, feel free to comment them below. Currently, the station has an open roof design underneath 579 Crosstown Boulevard. You can see me now taking the station shelter networks by Ronick 69 to cover the open air portion of the station. I want to take a quick break from the video to show off some work I completed off-camera on Gateway Station. Gateway Station is an underground tram station underneath downtown Pittsburgh, which services the blue, red, and silver lines as they go towards the North Shore. Using some of the techniques that I show off in the tutorial I recently released on underground tram stations, I decided to go back and detail the station to make it more like the real-life version. I added working escalators, advertisements, station networks, benches, and ticket machines, as well as adding some invisible paths to get the Sims walking through the station more realistically. If you're interested in how I detailed and built this custom station, feel free to check out the tutorial which I've linked above. As I start to work on the details inside the passenger boarding area, I just wanted to mention my new Discord server once again for anyone new to the channel. The Discord is a great way to interact with the Pittsburgh project and get a behind-the-scenes look at some of the progress. It's also home to over 60 members now, all interested in City Skylines. I've included an invite link to join in the description below. I wanted to give a quick shout out to all the people who have been following along with this project from the beginning. This episode is actually an idea that I got from one of my subscribers, Terrell Rogers. I also received a lot of help from my Discord members, some of whom are Pittsburgh residents. This station in particular does not have a lot of reference material online, so without the help of my Discord members and local residents of Pittsburgh, I would not have been able to recreate this station in the level of detail that I did. Thank you for everyone who's been helping along with the project, and I appreciate your support. Now I'm starting to work on the passenger rail entrance for the Amtrak station on Liberty Ave. The station entrance was relocated to Liberty Ave in 1988 when the Pennsylvania apartments were completed. Passengers gain entrance to the station through the ground level doors on Liberty Ave and take an escalator up to the platform area. This is my first attempt at modeling an interior in this game, so I use these block assets and change them into PO, and later I use an escalator asset to try to replicate the waiting area and platform entrance. To wrap up today's episode, I'm working on the Penn Station T Station. This platform used to serve as a spur line from Steel Plaza to allow light rail passengers to transfer to the Amtrak station. However, it has not seen regular service since 1993 due to national security concerns, as the line travels directly under the U.S. Courthouse on Grant Street. I want to give a special thank you to all my Patreons for their continued support. Thank you for watching.